afternoon to all. I am respected Dr. H.P. Singh sir, Chair, and Co-Chair Dr. Malhotra sir. I am thankful to the organizer for giving me this opportunity to interact with you because I was asked to speak about the community-led initiatives for post-harvest management of fruits and value addition. So the topic was given as per the choice of the organizer. So, but I try to justify that particular component. Now, since time I know it's only for 7 minutes, even then I try to complete the components which I want to see. The basic problem is a challenge in a global perspective. We all talk about productivity, but once we are talking about the shrinking of the land, so the component which is of much more importance is to minimize the post-harvest loss. Minimizing post-harvest loss is having a tangible effect. It is not only for the country to feed, but also to provide the nutrition without enhancing the productivity, taking the extra land, developing any variety, because already we are having those components. So once we see that fruits and vegetables goes to 40%, but total food loss in general commodity comes to 14%. Now the time has come to not only discuss on the post-harvest loss, the time has come to understand that how this loss and waste is creating an environmental hazard. Now this component is to be looked upon. Since what happens once there is a loss, it goes to the landfills and they contribute around 8 to 10% of the greenhouse gases. So now the time has come to not to let it to spoil and then to use, we have to use the waste. So the negative impact, I will come down to some of the case studies also. The negative impact of this food loss is that there is a water scarcity because we are using water and we are not using the fruits. Then greenhouse gas emissions, which is coming to the pollutions, and the biggest component for which we all are here is the biodiversity loss. So if really we want to conserve biodiversity, we have to see that to minimize the post-harvest loss and what best product can be developed from there having the marketable potentials. We all know we have talked a lot, but still we are struggling. We are feeding other countries. We produce so much, but still our country stands 107 in hunger index. So we must know our own, what we used to talk, that where we are in the world. However, we talk a lot about that particular component. So once the study was done with the UNEP Food Waste Index, they found that if we are not going to reduce the food loss, not we are going to halve the food loss by 2030, it will be as good as removing the 500 million cars from the road. The people from the Delhi understands better what is the meaning of pollutions. Now the component from world, we come down to India. In our country, since we are in India, we must talk of that India incurs a loss of 1.53 lakh crores, $18.5 billion. So really, if you are much more interested to support Indian economy, there is a need to understand how to minimize the post-harvest loss. Because this is not only contributing that we are talking about, but it is the economy where we can contribute if we can minimize the post-harvest loss. And the data is available. I'm not talking that how much million cereals and the horticultural produce are being lost, but nothing to worry for that. We can, it is a manageable issue. We can manage it. So we usually talk about that fruits and vegetables, how what happens, it is called as a death by 1,000 cuts. That is the post-harvest loss. Not physical, but physiological, poor handling and lack of cold chain. Post-harvest management basically not only deals with a better return to the growers, but also to the fruit quality. Because the quality which reaches to the consumers from the farmer's field needs to be assessed, because it is having a tangible effect on the produce, because demand is increasing. Day by day, the demand of nutritional concept is increasing. So how to have to fulfill that demand is to conserve the loss. And we post-harvest loss is a loss which needs to be minimized, because it is the only source which can give a better income to the growers directly, because all inputs we do to produce a fruit, but when fruits gets lost, it means we are losing some the income of those growers. Now the core concept which we can see, that once it is coming to the consumer, there are a lot many spillover is there. Those spillover, if you want to plug it, definitely we are going to minimize the loss. And it is not a very big thing. It is only some interventions at the components, means how to optimize the harvesting itself, minimize the post-harvest loss. Since I worked in citrus, I know in the harvesting of one of the orange fruit, if there is a round and you are getting it down, oleosyllasis will be there and there is a small hole, and that will spoils the whole of the fruits. So these are the components which we all know, that sorting, grading, cleaning, these are the components. Now what happens, see one of the small example we can understand how a chain works. Means what the input, what the farmers, what the wholesaler, processor and the retailer. These are the players which we call that every sector we have to look upon, that how best we can utilize that particular component. Now come to the value addition. Quickly I will try to compose all those things. Value addition means transforming the raw agricultural produce. What happens when a table fruit comes on your table, if it not looks good, you won't consume. But the processing industry need not to have those fruits. So we have to categorize the fruit, we have to classify the fruits. There is 80 mm, 60 mm, 50 mm, 40 mm. So if you categorize the fruits, which can be exported domestic market and which will go to the processing sector, we must know. And there, since it is a community based, so we had put here some of the small components which a normal local people can prepare and make it out. So some of the solutions are like that. It's a community led approach. There is a need of a top down solutions. So what the meaning of top down solution? That we should not go as a price makers instead of a price takers. Don't be a price taker, try to become a price makers. Lot many FPOs are coming forward. You decide your locally grown crops, that what is there. I will show you in my coming slides that how you can enhance the value of your crops. So there is a need to understand the ownership, then technologies, which is very much appropriate, and there is a much more importance of the women empowerment for developing that particular products. There are three key players in any of the models of the community actions. Either it's a self-help group, it's a FPO or FPC, or the cooperatives. When it is informal, then 10 to 20 women, where we talk much more of that, who pool their savings and become a powerful force for a small scale value addition. But if the FPO, you think FPO is the bigger section, where the farmers come closer, 1000 maybe they are the capacity, they aggregate, produce and assess the finance to build larger business. But cooperatives, we all know how the cooperatives are playing a very vital role in contributing the profits and decision making capacity. Now, what I will speak, the first line of defense against the loss. There should be a classification that where and how we have to minimize that. So community led post harvest management, how it can be done. We can have some of the components like zero energy cool chamber. It's a community based, because when the community comes to a common platform with less investment, they can get a better return. So if we have some zero energy cool chamber, we can store the fruits for a long duration without going for a long and bigger cold storage where they charge too much, and it can be maintained easily by those community people then and there without knowing lot many technical inputs and engineering. Similarly, harvesting components, these are the small components, just I am figuring it out that how we can minimize, and that the plastic crates, if you are utilizing, we can having a better component of getting the less damage. Second is that the value addition, that is the perishable problem to a profitable product. How to make it out, because perishables we are talking a lot, more is the moisture, more is the perishable commodity. And here there is a saying that the fresh market wants a perfect grade A product, but value addition is for everything else. So this is the component we are thinking to make it out. The two components, one is the minimizing, other is the developing a product. This is a value addition how you can do when we have a community based dryers, solar dryers. They can be put and then we can develop the value added products. Similar with the pulpers, means just I am giving some examples where we can put and make the community to develop it. Now these are the products which can be developed at a community level, and it can be branded with that particular and it can be marketed. The third one is the proof of concept from the field. Now one case study just I want to show in the this is called as the Green Himalaya Self-Help Group. This is a model in Uttarakhand. I am showing this slide just to know that how the community level people can work, and these are the successful entrepreneurs. They make small components like garlic, chili, apple, apricot. But what was the impact? If you see the impact, it created a sustainable livelihood and empowered the women component socially and economically. So these are components, these are the case studies. The second one I can show you. This is the Telangana mango FPOs. Means the biodiversity is saved, place where it is grown, and the farmers are directly, if they are involving themselves, they feel more happy. So sorry sir, I will try to complete. This is the third case study which the ICAR was involved in training in Tanzania. This I am thankful to Dr. HP Singh sir for giving me the opportunity to work in this project of UNEP GAF project, where I get a chance to work. And this is one of the entrepreneur in Thailand, Chantaburi. They develop the product from the durian and they make a diversified products. So the local fruit, if it is being worked, and then you can prepare the diverse products, it will give impetus to you that how best can be done. Now citrus, highly biodiversity is existing. If you really want to, because citrus I would definitely speak because I worked in 18 years in the citrus. So citrus biodiversity is a huge biodiversity. I will show only one chromatogram, just want to brief it, how we can market the product. One of the crop is citrumella. We are having the amino acids in our body, 11 we used to have. When we become sick, some of the amino acids are not available in our body, that are the 4 amino acids. And this citrumella contains those amino acids that are called as the conditional amino acids. So if you take those particular fruits in the sick time, these amino acids will help in repairing your DNA. So these are the components, if we can recognize, technological interventions can be done. And this information given to the local farmers that how to sell that particular product. Now only one last example I am giving you. Flavonoid is a component. World market is $180 million. It has grown with a rate of 7.3% and likely to be $380 million. Hesperidin is being imported from China in our country. We try to work upon the fruits which are dropped of the citrus fruits, small fruits, which are having the zero value. It is a waste. We try to extract that particular by 2 methods, and we find there is a hesperidin is a component already existing in those drought fruits which are having a 0 rupees value. And 8 mm, when we analyze, so 10 to 16 mm, we find the maximum recovery of those hesperidins. And you see this mail which has been received from the people who paid 500 crores to the farmers of Maharashtra. The 0 rupees drought fruits are now being sold at a rupees of 75 per kg. So this type of intervention I think can be done. So definitely this is will not only giving to the industry but also to the farmers for increasing their income. Some of the challenges are there which we must see, that is the group dynamics, technical skill and business acumen. But external challenge is the capital, infrastructure and the policies. And the future is that vision, goal, strategy, action and the success. Thanks for your passive listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh, for your very comprehensive, excellent presentation. It has been highly comprehensive. There has been shortage of time, otherwise you could have expanded it a little more.
Yes.
So he has covered most of the aspects, starting with this post-harvest management. But few things you must also note in your presentation in general. Post-harvest management per se do not start after harvest. It starts from the selection of the land till it reaches to the consumer. Why I say? Because the same thing with the same principle, people grew the banana, harvested the banana, transported it to Russia, all the banana failed and came back. Similarly, they also did that many times. It's a overnight export. Then now the people, what they do now, grow banana as per the needs of the market. So the losses will be minimum and product will be acceptable in the market. Say for example, somebody comes to you, which crop I should grow. Say example, I am giving you a brinjal. In Delhi, people eat round brinjal. Okay. In Bihar, people eat long brinjal. In Maharashtra, people eat small brinjal. छोटा वाला ज्यादा चलता है यार. अरे बड़ा वाला कम चलता है, छोटा वाला ज्यादा चलता है. प्रेशियस है, मोस्ट प्रेशियस है. तब हंसने लगा. अरे महाराष्ट्र को मैं ज्यादा जानता हूं यार. तो कहने का मेरा मतलब ये था कि if those varieties are grown as per the market, there will be demand, there will be less losses.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Similarly, how it is done, trimming this thing at the different stages of the growth, and finally before harvest, also there is need for treatment. Even in your oranges, if you give a pre-harvest treatment
Yes.
of a spray of some chemicals, then your post-harvest life gets improved. So that's why the post-harvest should not start with the harvest, but it should start from the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.